Good morning, investors and traders, and welcome to our channel in which we discuss several different opportunities in several different markets. By that, what I mean is equities, forex, commodities, and cryptos. My name is Naeem Aslam. I come with a wealth of over 15 years of trading experience. During this time period, I have worked as a hedge fund trader for Bank of New York Mellon and in equity trading for Bank of America. Currently, I work as a chief market analyst for Evertrade. And in today's market, we will be discussing several different opportunities. And we'll be describing why the market is going higher, where it can go next, and whether we should be looking for a buy opportunity or whether we should be looking at a selling opportunity as the market continue to trend, and whether that trend is picking up any steam or not. What are the fundamentals that are driving those particular price moves, and what could be next going into the next week as well. So we'll be discussing all of these major factors for today. Now, let's look at the stock market initially. When I see the European markets, I see the red is a dominant color across all the major indices, whether we're talking about DAX, which is your German index, CAC, your French index, FTSE 100, which is your your UK's index, and Stock 600, which represent the entire of the European indices. They are all down approximately 1%. Now remember, throughout this week, we have seen massive volatility. By that, what I mean is market has been going up, down, up, down. On Wednesday, we saw the Dow Jones Industrial Index, which is the US stock index, suffering from one of its biggest sell-off since October last year, something that we haven't seen. But yesterday, we saw the dead cat bounce. The dead cat bounce, the terminology means when after a massive sell-off, we see a little bit of a bounce and then boom, the market goes back down to the downside, And that is what we are likely to see today, because the US stock futures are trading lower by 300 points, meaning the stock market is going to open to the downside. So if yesterday you were able to sell into the rally, meaning as the market after the big drop off on Wednesday, and then you're slightly big to the upside yesterday, if you are putting your short position, selling the market, today is the day where you will see more of that profit. Because looking at the Dow Jones Industrials a daily chart and weekly chart, it becomes very, very clear that even the Dow Jones Index, when I look at the chart on the weekly time frame, it is set to close in deep negative territory. We have already formed a low which is lower than the 3 weeks low, so confirming the market is set to close in a negative territory. For the S&P 500 index, once again, the weekly time frame confirms that we are set to close in negative territory, meaning more sell-off is likely next week as well. For the Nasdaq, which is the tech index, is also set to close in negative territory, confirming that next week we could see possibly more lows for the Nasdaq, but perhaps not as much weakness for the Nasdaq index as compared to the Dow Jones or for the S&P 500 index. Now, when I move to the European indices, such as the CAC, which is your French index, it confirms that we are maintaining this downward shift. So if you have a short position in terms of your CAC or your French index, the chances are this will continue to move lower. And guys, remember, this is a live session. This is your opportunity to ask me as many questions as you can. And you can only ask those questions if you have smashed that like and subscribe button. Why? Because this will give you an indication the moment that I go live. So you can come here and then you can ask me questions and then say stuff like, hey, why this FTSE is going down? Hey, where is the next support for FTSE? Hey, why gold prices have started to move higher? What is the next resistance for gold prices? What can we expect in terms of gold prices? In your experience, why do you think markets are moving lower or to the downside? What is your take of Elon Musk supporting Bitcoin prices? Any question that you have, you can ask them right now in the YouTube session that we are holding, and I will answer those questions to you as we go along. If not, I will answer them later under that. So now, as I was describing, CAC 40 index, the French index, if you have a short position, you can still very much keep that short position because market is still very likely to continue to move to the downside. Now, when I focus on the DAX index on the weekly time frame, it also confirms that look, a massive sell-off has happened this week for the DAX index, the German stock index, and the market is likely to continue its journey to the downside because it is still trading very far from the 50, 100, and 200 week simple moving averages, which pretty much defines if the markets are trading to the upside or to the downside, and more importantly, how far the current move has been and how fast that move has been. Currently, the market was completely, it was shouting out that look, retracement is coming, market is going to sell off. That is what we are seeing. And the DAX index, it is still telling us more sell-off is still on the card unless we break above the 13,928, which is not likely. This week, we have formed a major trading range for the DAX index. Now, with respect to the Forex, Euro dollar is still maintaining its momentum to the downside. The prices are still trading below the 50-day simple moving average. In terms of our weekly chart, because this week is coming to an end, what we are seeing is a little bit of intra-week trading, meaning we are still within the week of highs and lows of last week. The traders haven't still decided. It was a consolidation week. So what we wanted to keep an eye is 1.2217, and then on the downside 1.2055. So these are the price levels that we wanted to keep an eye on. The moment the price breaks out of these ranges, we can see, yes, Bitcoin is pumping, Amjad, and I will tell you the price levels. Just stay with me because now we have done Forex, then we move on to commodities, meaning gold, and then we will move on to Bitcoin. In fact, you've asked me Bitcoin. I'm going to bring Bitcoin forward now just to answer your question first because you had the audacity to ask me the question, and that now I'm going to answer your question. Now, first of all, for the last 4 hours, we're seeing this massive move to the upside in terms of a Bitcoin. That is because Elon Musk has changed his Twitter profile to Bitcoin. That only means that a billionaire is supporting this one. Doesn't mean billionaire is buying this one. If he puts his mouth where his money is, meaning starting buying Bitcoin in his portfolios, and we have that clear evidence of that, that would be very different. Right now, it is very much of a speculative play where, yes, we are seeing a momentum and then Bitcoin prices are moving higher. Now, as of yesterday, look, Amjad, go back to my videos on Bitcoin, on technical analysis on this channel. You will see that I talked about that, look, prices are forming a bullish pattern. It seems like that the prices are going to break to the upside. It looked to me that that was pretty much coming up because price touched the 50-day simple moving average 2 days ago. And that was the first time since going back, the last time that the price came close to its 50-day simple moving average was November 2020, or let's say December. November was pretty much the time. But the last time that the price kind of touched that was September 20. Now we have seen that. It shows that was a massive bull trades were really waiting for it. And Elon Musk comment was very much of a catalyst. We already pushed the markets higher. Now we have crossed above the 37,475 today. We have broken the previous consolidation, which was very much, let me just measure the exact price moves to give you a little bit more into this price action. So what we are literally looking at in terms of a price is that we were looking at the consolidations which were happening right over here. Yes, we have crossed it. Then the next consolidation area which we really need to break is going to be between 38 to 40,000. That is the price level that we should be looking at if price continues to break the way that it has done, because today is the second consecutive days of a bull momentum coming up. RSI was way oversold. It is still trading away from the overbought area. We still can continue to push the prices to the upside. Keep an eye on an intraday time frame where the prices are trading above the 50, 100, and 200 day simple moving averages. As long as they continues to stay above that, we are good. 65,000 price level will come into play. That is the price level that we wanted to keep an eye on as long as the price stays above the 3 important moving averages. If you're unsure, play this video again. It will be available on the YouTube channel, but 65,000 is very much in play as long as price stays above the 3 different moving averages, which I've just talked to you now. Now, in terms of oil price, gold prices, we saw a massive bounce in oil prices yesterday, and now it seems like gold price is also about to take a massive bull run as well. Yesterday, we failed to break above the 50-day simple moving average, but we are consistently challenging that 50-day simple moving average. And when I go onto weekly time frame, the price is very, very close to its 50-week moving average. And 50-week moving average has a lot more significant than 50-day simple moving average. If price can stay above, let's say the 1800 price level, we are likely to see a very big bull momentum coming into gold prices. That's all for now. See you guys next time.